All right, y'all, welcome to, I suppose, another unfortunate roast. This time we will be grilling the fourth age. Now, I did not want this to happen. RJ, I'm sorry, man. I tried to reach out to you for 2 years. And I remember last year reaching out to you, you told me your internet connection was a bit messed up and that they had to replace the router or something. And then you uploaded a video later that day. You are a liar, RJ. For 2 years, I tried to speak to you in private even, trying to get your honest opinion on this space. I wanted to confirm if you truly are an authentic person who cares about this space, or maybe you're just some old man who wishes he still lived in the 70s or 80s to consume the comics of back then alone. It seems to me that indeed you're nothing but exactly that. Just an old dude just wanting to create the comics that he enjoyed reading when he was a kid. And now you have launched your two little comics called The Valiant Heroes on Indiegogo, launched last year, January last year, and Chrome the Destroyer. Well, unfortunately, this here on Coffee Comics, what I do is I expose liars, you see. I expose hypocrites, you see, and I expose those who don't follow the standard of the type of work that they should know has a particular standard. And in your case, you are a American style comic book creator, you are a writer, but you hired some artists. We're going to examine the art and we're going to see if it meets the standards of what was popular in the 90s. And I can tell you right now, long story short, it doesn't. Now, I have not read the story, but how can I when they look so awfully boring? But before we get there, so I used to watch RJ, I think, while I was still in university, either 2018 or 2019, around there. I've been watching him for years, and I enjoyed his commentary on the landscape that is the entertainment space right now, or I should say hellscape, and I enjoyed it. But I thought we were getting somewhere, you see. I thought RJ would eventually start making a point with his own two hands instead of commentating on everybody or the entertainment space sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into a sewer. But you just kept commenting on how deep we are in the sewer and did nothing about it. I don't know what was your main objective in just letting us know just how bad it smells. Like, we can smell it too, you know. You don't have to let us know that it smells. We can see that it smells. We can smell that it smells. See, RJ, I remember, was it 2020 or 2021? He did mention that he does like going around, I don't want to say in circles, but he likes giving these tangents of his, these 30-minute long tangents, talking to himself basically as a form of catharsis, I suppose, rationalizing the evil, not rationalizing as in defending it, but rationalizing as in it, oh, this is why it's happening, because these people are into that, they believe in this, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, great, RJ, we know that now. Thank you very much. What's next? What's next, RJ? For the last couple of years, nothing has been next with you. It has just been technically you repeating yourself over and over and over and over again. You're just paraphrasing things. That's all. You're a very good speaker and you like the sound of your own voice. We can tell. And I think you like the sound of your own voice more than your own work, more than actual storytelling, more than actually getting to work. I think you just like talking. And unfortunately, this is another problem in the indie space. We have a lot of talkers, man. We have a lot of talkers that just want to keep yapping away. And I would say RJ, if not the king of yapping, right? He's in the top 3. But for me right now, I will say RJ is the king of yapping, because you don't make a point. There comes a time when the talking is over, it's time to get to work. If you're going to say what you did here, your Chrome the Destroyer, is the work, bro, This book is 65 pages, is it not? How many pages is this? It was written somewhere here. Okay, it's around 65 pages or 80 pages. $25 for that. And this is all you've done in a year. You released Valiant Heroes as well, 82 pages. And that was last year. You've done nothing ever since except yap. And I'm asking the question, why should anyone take you seriously? Another thing, where's your own website? Where's your own website, RJ? You see, this is no different to that Sean James energy. Sean James, who had his garbage on Amazon, would pull cover designs for his books that looked like a child drew it or was ripped off from some magazine, and he calls that a completed product. Absolutely not. And RJ is similar. My question is could it be that older people over the age of 45 just cannot understand the mindset of the consumer under their age group? Like, do they not understand? Are they trying to sell to ignorant old people such as themselves, or what? Because you're not maximizing your customer reach when you have trash such as this. I'm sorry, this is trash, and I'm going to give my reasons why it's trash. Right? Now, real quick, let's go to my website real quick. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because people are going to be like, where's your website? Here it is, right? See, I'm with a squad of dudes. I'm with a squad of people, and we create something called MANAA over here. And we do cross promotions. And that's very important because in this video, RJ is asked, RJ, would you consider joining an indie group with Comics Code type guidelines for all comic books if it offered group marketing and promotional opportunities? We're going to listen to his answer here. And it is this answer that he gives here that really ticked me off. And that's why I reached out to you yesterday to talk about this in private. But you've given me the runaround again with your female-like ducking and diving. Can't be a man and say, bro, I'm not interested. Can't be a man, RJ, for whatever reason. So we're going to hear what you have to say. But as you can see here on the MANAA website, we have a bunch of product, and here is mine. You can read the first 3 chapters for free, or you can buy 2 of my books. Book 1 over 200 pages, book 2 over 180 pages, all released within this year. So I do back up what I say. If I'm releasing 2 books a year that are over 150 pages, and I still can make videos such as this exposing hypocrites and liars and lazy people and grifters and so on, then you have no excuse. It's either you really are a grifter and a lazy bastard, or, right, or you're just somebody who, in fact, that's all you are, you know, because I really cannot see how you are not a grifter, how you are not a lazy person at all. Because if I was a grifter, I would have no product. I have nothing to sell, or I'd have 1 item to sell, but I got 2. And I've got book 3 coming out in a couple of months. And then I might have book 4 out before the end of 2025. What the heck is your excuse, RJ? And everybody just like RJ, what is your excuse? You want to accuse me of being a yapper, but I got more product than all of y'all? Shut the F up. Another thing is, I'll say this real quickly. I never claimed to be talented. Never. I never claimed to be talented. I never claimed to be an amazing artist. But one thing that I am is consistent. And consistency goes a long way. My character designs are consistent, right? My releases are consistent. But I will go to why I mentioned character designs being consistent. But quickly, let us listen to RJ's response over here to this guy's question. Would you consider joining a group and doing marketing and promotional opportunities. Let's hear what he has to say.
Comic code type guidelines for all comic books if it offered group marketing and promotional opportunities. I don't know.
Now, that answer there is absolutely unacceptable. What do you mean you don't know? What do you know? Honestly, what do you know? This whole video is literally about networking. And by doing some collaborative work or joining a group, isn't that part of networking? You're limiting your reach. This is somebody who enjoys his tiny little bubble, but can make videos about networking and the future of comics, but he doesn't really want to work with anyone. He doesn't even want to talk to anyone. He doesn't even want to talk to anyone. So this to me is double-mindedness. This is double-think. You want a future you want a bright future for comics, and you realize that comics at the end of the day requires collaboration, requires a team, bringing it out, dishing it out, and promoting it requires a team. It's a team effort. You want this, but at the same time, you don't want to talk to people. You don't want to engage with people. Do you have autism or something? Why are you scared of talking to people? What's wrong with these people in this comic space? It's either we have omega level hateful people who just want to hate on everything, who can't even give a reason why they dislike something. They just want to run around and hate, as people accuse me of. I want to run around and hate. I ain't got no time to run around and hate. I'm here to hold people accountable. You can try to hold me accountable. Tell me that I'm not doing enough. You can't tell me that. I'm doing more than enough, right? I hold these people accountable. You can't be out here making 10 billion videos and you only got 2 comics out, which we're still gonna look at because it's omega atrocious. Now, if you look at this part right here, like this video portraying beauty, virtue, and truth in the age of hypersexuality. Now, I'm not interested in watching it because I've heard your rhetoric about such a topic anyway. But somebody who is so vividly clear about the importance of the standard of beauty, yeah, you kind of missed the memo on your own comic, bro. But anyway, let's finish his answer here.
My first thought would be yes, but I think, quite honestly, the thing is that I have my own standards, and
you have your own standards. Now, in Coffee Comics, I am the one who reminded people that there needs to be standards, right? And I gave an example that if you're going to draw manga, it's got to look like a manga, right? It has to follow the format of manga production. It can't look like a webtoons, right? It should be in black and white. And others will say, well, that's just to save printing costs. Nigga, it should be in black and white. End of discussion, right? You need to compare your work to your favorite artist. Your favorite artist followed a particular standard. And RJ is a big fan of Jim Lee. Now, that's a very, very important artist. So if you're going to create a comic and hire an artist, that artist needs to come close to Jim Lee or be like Jim Lee or nothing. So artistically speaking, RJ does not meet the standards. He hired an artist that just does not meet the standards at all of a DC legend like Jim Lee. His art is very unappealing. We're gonna look at it, right? In terms of storytelling, I haven't read it, and I'm not going to because I ain't paying $25 for something that looks awful. Absolutely not. You do judge a book by its cover, and the covers look atrocious. So I'm not gonna look at the contents of the book. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is, you know? What else does he say?
I think my own standards are probably just as strict as the comic code was within, let's say, 1985.
See, dude is kind of living in that era of time, and he's mostly just trying to entertain himself. And it's like, bro, you can't grow a business if the business is about entertaining yourself or selling to your cousin downtown. Because the amount of people that consume RJ's product, I haven't heard nobody actually make a review of any of his comics. Has anyone made a review? RJ, have you paid for a review for your own comic? No, I paid for one, not so I can be glazed, but so that it can be shared, to get a professional review from somebody who is a genuine consumer of manga or comics. That is important. Did RJ do that? No. Did any consumer that enjoys his comic actually make a review about his product? I haven't found anything. He hasn't shared anyone who's made a review about his product. So in the end, it's like, are you truly just trying to have fun, RJ? Are you just trying to entertain yourself? If you want comics to make a real comeback, you're gonna have to appeal to the consumers, right? But you're not following the basic principles of business. And when you say you have your own standards, so you have subjective standards, then who's this for, bro? You can't tell me that you have your own standards. Well, your own standards will appeal to only you. You know, you brought up Jim Lee as an example. Your stuff doesn't look like Jim Lee. You see, this is the double-mindedness I'm talking about here. You can't be over the age of 45, RJ, and still suffering from cognitive dissonance. This is insane.
Now, they're not the same. They're certainly not the same. We have different interpretations of things, because if you go back to, let's say, 1985, no, I guess it wouldn't be 1985, say at the very least 1978 Comic Code, like, you wouldn't be able to put in my character Pharaoh because you couldn't have werewolves, things like that. So, you know, but I have a pretty strict code for myself that I use. It's, so my first idea would be yes, Ryan, but it would really depend on the group of people. Let's see, scrolling down.
That's it. It would really depend on the group of people. See, you haven't even tried. That's the thing. You haven't tried. I mean, here I am as a normal dude trying to reach out to you to talk in private about things, right? To get your opinion and actually, okay, what type of group of people are you even looking for? What exactly? You see, my biggest problem in the indie manga space was that people did not follow the basic format of manga production. See, the format is everything. That's the foundation, right? If you don't have that, you don't have a manga. When it comes to the actual art style, nailing the Japanese aesthetic, it takes a lot of work, but that's second to the foundation. That's second to the foundation. All these things I discovered, and I made sure that in my own product that I make sure that I achieve that. Right? And I tell everybody else that you too got to pursue that. Right? There is no, it's what I personally think. No, it's straight up objective observation of how manga in Japan is produced. Okay, you can play around with things here and there, but the foundation is important, and so is the visual style and aesthetic. Now let us go to the comic he made. Let's start with Valiant Heroes. Before I watched the trailer, I started just scrolling here, looking, and I was like turned off. Here's why. First thing I see is this random woman, and this was done before AI became a thing, but it looks AI. It really does. It looks soulless. It looks empty. It looks like a mannequin. And actually, this is the prime problem with RJ's comics. They all look like mannequins. This doesn't look like a character that was drawn with passion, or a character that actually matters, that has a soul. But let me show you the power of, or the importance of drawing your own characters. These past 5 years, RJ, you could have learned to draw or allowed your artist to actually form a caring relationship with your story. Never hire an artist that doesn't really care about your story, because something like this gonna come out empty as hell. What's a blue-eyed white woman doing in Japan? What's she doing there? It looks so random. It feels wrong. Aside from the mannequin aspect of it, the whole image just feels wrong. An American white woman in Japan with a samurai sword, and she's wearing a cape. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I just want to give an example of, if you're going to draw like little covers or pin-ups of your characters, in a way it has to blend and fit in with the world building. So I'll give an example with my own stuff, right? I mean, this does blend with the world building. You can say, well, it doesn't have a background. It doesn't need one. The use of negative space here is just fine, right? This also fits with the world building. For those that have not seen my video on Patreon about the importance of aesthetics, I was experimenting here as to like, what key aesthetics and symbology and shape language and whatnot can I add in my story to enhance it, right? So I played with stars, I played with the cross, I played with some diamond shapes and so on. And you know what? It kind of gave it a little bit of sauce, a little bit of extra oomph, visually more appealing. But it still actually is rooted in the story. It's not random. Unlike this feels completely random. Absurdly random. And when things like this feel random, it feels like the creator of the comic is not attached to their own characters, right? Is not attached to their stories, right? And then let's go to this one. This is also another experiment and so on. And it's like, well, that's creepy. That's the point, you know? And I don't make these types of covers and whatnot for, I haven't even shared these on social media yet. But I'm just showing you an example of like, if you're going to make a cover, it has to actually fit well and blend well with the actual chapter at the time or the story as a whole, okay? Or it has to represent the personality of the character. You see this one, Irene being, well, skimpy and whatnot, it actually is her personality. She is a vampire, so yeah, she does hoe around here and there, but she's not gonna do that forever. She's gonna get traumatized. But ultimately, you can tell her personality from this cover. You can tell. Unlike over here, we can't tell the personality of this character at all. We just can't. It looks like a doll. It looks like a mannequin. Okay? And even here, I did this a while ago, so it's not the best, but ultimately it fits with the narrative. There's a consistency taking place, right? So I don't have to be talented. I just have to be somebody who's consistent. I just have to be somebody who understands that your characters must look like they belong in the world that you're creating, right? And they have to consistently look alike, look like themselves. And the covers that you draw must actually be rooted in the story itself. You see? Now, these things matter, and these things are done by somebody who is in love with their own story. Somebody who's not an opportunist, just trying to sell product and talk trash on the internet and be heard because maybe, just maybe, they grew up in the basement their whole life. I'm sorry, RJ, but I really did respect you as a person. I did a while ago. But you are a disgrace now. You're double-minded. Absolutely double-minded. Shouldn't be surprised. Really. A lot of Catholics are double-minded. You and your Mary and your statues. Look at this. Another variant cover. It looks dead, bro. Soulless as hell. Now, he speaks of beauty and so on. I'm sorry, your character's ugly. See, this character, yeah, she looks attractive here. But ultimately, there's still something wrong. The chest, the breasts here are just hanging. They look too far low. They should be slightly a bit higher. It just looks off, completely off. But this variant cover, it just looks cheap. It looks cheap, bro. Like whoever drew this didn't want to draw it. It doesn't even look like she's standing on the ground. It looks like she was just drawn in the background or slapped on 100 days later. Cheap, disgusting. This is product. This is not art. You're not selling art, RJ. You're selling product. You're selling slop. Just like all these progressive lunatics in the gaming space and what's left of the comic space. These covers, these images of Art Germ over here, or is this Bruce Timm's? I think, is it Bruce Timm's whose art styles like this? I don't know. But these little images that you present here, now that is art. That is attractive. You see, that's something somebody would want to put on their wall. But this, I ain't putting this on my wall. This is going straight to the bin. This looks like a lollipop wrapper. That's honestly what it looks like, a lollipop wrapper. The Halloween edition. It's atrocious, and then you unwrap the lollipop and throw it in the bin. You don't want to keep it. Then we have another variant cover, illustrated by, I'm sure, some other artist. This is very good. This is very nice. Very dynamic. The only two appealing characters here is this Zeus or Thor looking character and Blue-Eyed Samurai, I suppose. But the others, we have a ripoff of Batman. I don't know how or what you were smoking to dare expect people to pay money for a ripoff of Batman, a ripoff of Thor, but this Batman one is just atrocious. Have you no shame? Have you no basic self-awareness, bro? This is Batman that you turned into Wolverine. Like, are you insane? And then we have a female beast, werewolf woman, a ripoff of the Beast from the X-Men, and we have a lumberjack homeless dude wearing a mask. You can't tell me that these characters represent ideas, or in fact represent the image that a young person might look at and be like, I would like to be like him one day. You can't tell me that. Now what young girl is going to look at this werewolf woman and be like, man, one day I want to grow up to be hairy and climb walls? No one. What young man is going to say, one day I want to grow up and look homeless and wear a lumberjack cap with a leather jacket and bed sheets for a mask? No self-awareness. You are another victim, I suppose, of rotting away in his own echo chamber. You see, people can't tell me that no one is calling you out, Coffee. Everybody's been calling me out. Everybody. Search Coffee Comics, everybody's spending hours talking about me. But all those people don't have product like me, and they sure as hell have not improved on their craft, such as myself. So in the end, you have nothing that you can point me to, like, well, you suck in that, you suck in this, yada, 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 whatever. You can't actually do that. when there's actual proof that every single chapter is an improvement and that my story itself is actually good. So this is atrocious. And then we have a page, right? A page. Now, I'm gonna tear this apart. I'm tearing this apart because I'm sick of hypocrites like RJ. This space in indie comics is just trash, right? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. All right, we're tearing this apart. Number one, what the hell is fake Batman swinging on? What's his rope attached to? The moon? What the hell is this ripoff of Venom, but it looks stiff as hell? And what's the blue-eyed samurai doing over there with her magic sword, just randomly standing there? It looks so off. Not this whole first panel here doesn't actually follow any perspective. I don't see any understanding of 2-point or 1-point perspective. It's all random. Literally, blue-eyed samurai here, it looks like she was drawn at the last, I don't know, at the last second or maybe 10 days after. And RJ said, you know what, I think we can add the blue-eyed samurai over here. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look like she's actually standing on the ground. It doesn't look like it. This Venom lookalike ripoff, I don't think, it doesn't make any sense. Like, so he's grabbing this guy with his tongue and he's about to swing his hand. You know, there's no real thought of the actions the characters are supposed to take. But this fake Batman part, swinging with his rope attached to the moon, has to be the worst one. It has to be the worst one. Where is this fight even taking place on? Where is it taking place? This is so monumentally bad. I feel sorry for those who paid $25 for this. Now, this guy's out here telling us that he looks up to Jim Lee, read Jim Lee books, and of course, he'd want to recreate something that is of the Jim Lee standard. This is nowhere near the Jim Lee standard. Jim Lee would sneeze on this. This is toilet paper. This is straight up toilet paper, bro. This is ugly. Perspective is wrong. The actual actions of the characters don't make any sense whatsoever. All of this literally looks like a bunch of stickers posted on a background. This is what you have. The characters don't actually blend with the world that they're in. They don't. And the characters seem to be illustrated long after the background has been illustrated, and it feels off. They are not confined to the actual background or the world. It looks like an afterthought, like you hired somebody to draw the backgrounds and then you hired somebody to draw the characters individually, and then you just glued it to that position and that position. It looks so wrong. The composition is foul. It's foul. It's disgusting. It's horrid. No one, whoever bought this thing, no one tried to tell you that, RJ, the reading experience of your product is rather awful. I think you need to improve. No one told you that because you're in your own little echo chamber. And then we come to this panel and we have a Jean Grey ripoff, and these orange balloons that are supposed to be what? Form of plasma energy. It looks so stiff. It looks like word balloons actually that are just connected to each other. If you look at her leg over here, how it's just erased. There's no form to her leg actually being inside this plasma bubble, but instead it's as if it was just stuck there, and then the leg was erased instead of her leg just coming out of the bubble. There's no form. And the artist for this comic definitely understands anatomy, but surely he should understand simple things such as this, and the importance of perspective being executed well. But it looks like he didn't care because he understands that RJ can't see what's wrong with what he did. Hey RJ, your artist ripped you off. Hey, he could tell that maybe you're half blind and you can't tell that this is actually awful compared to the stuff you grew up with. This is awful. This definitely looks like some DEI garbage. And you want to stand here and speak as if you are against the DEI trash? You are against bad standards? No, I think you are for bad standards. And this panel also suffers from the exact same problem. But if this, you see, here's another thing, real quick. Graphic novel cover, right? This is a cover. Oh, I thought this was a page. If this is a cover, then it's worse. It's worse than a page. Covers are not supposed to be this chaotic. This is worse. But then you say to be finished. Well, this thing was finished last year. You want people to buy this thing. You refer us to this very website, to this very page, to try and convince us to buy this thing. But you still are showing us incompleted works that we are somehow supposed to be like, you know what, I'll take a chance and pay $25 for it. This is madness. This is double-mindedness. This is depravity. You must be depraved, RJ. You must be. You must be insane too then. What is this? What the hell is this? You know what? I think RJ is a PSYOP agent. He's one of those people, bunch of CIA agents who've infiltrated every corner of reality to demoralize everybody. Because they can talk about what's happening, but what they do is the opposite of what they talk about. What they do is exactly the same garbage the evil people do. But they claim that they are against the evil. Then why do you do the evil? Why? You are a PSYOP agent, aren't you? You're an actor, a fraud, CIA agent. Here to completely destroy what's left of the comic space. I bet you Ethan Van Sciver is exactly the same, that he's a paid agent as well, because that dude still hasn't released anything. He can have his nice points and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we're waiting for product. This is demoralizing people who actually want to create product, because you see Ethan Van Sciver make $1 million for sitting on his chair, drinking liquor and talking smack. And he made $1 million. Not because he sold product, but because he spoke smack. Now, if we try to just think about it realistically, guys, there is absolutely no way you can make $1 million just talking crap. No. It's sponsored. This is a funded demoralization PSYOP. Because you get discouraged seeing people like Ethan, seeing people like RJ produce barely anything and make so much returns, but you barely make any returns. It's not fair. It's not fair. You feel like it's all pointless. You feel like you should just give it all up. Because how can you work so hard, right? And these people barely try, and somehow they get the goodie bags, right? They get that chicken bag, and you get nothing. It's not fair. This is evil. Subverting reality, subverting standards, subverting the importance of hard work. This isn't hard work. You could say this honestly looks like AI, even though I know it's not AI, but it does, because it's so soulless. in this part of the cover, look how random Thor just shows up over here. And think about it. What the hell is fake Jean Grey doing staring at the camera? What's she doing coming towards us? While there's a werewolf trying to eat the wolf woman, and the homeless lumberjack is about to jump on the wolf, and Thor's not even heading towards the wolf. If you look at it carefully, he's heading towards the wolf woman. Why is she coming towards us while the others are heading towards the wolf or the wolf woman? It doesn't make any visual sense, but this is what I'm talking about. This is amateur garbage. This is pure amateur. You know, in fact, this is not even amateur, man. This is purposeful garbage. This was done on purpose. And everybody who bought this thing, if you don't feel retarded, I guess you have no self-awareness. People should be outraged that they spent money on this. So, we read here, the stories include the valiant heroes. A twisted evil stalks the gauntlet mountains and threatens to descend on the local town. It's up to Feral. You got to be kidding me. Feral, Pulse, and Disc to stop them or die trying. Oh my word. That is the most sickening, generic names I have ever heard in my life. Now, I wonder who Feral is. It's this hairy wolf woman. RJ, what you doing drawing or creating a hairy woman? What are you doing, man? Nobody want to see this. Nobody want to see this furry garbage. What is this? Who are you, bro? You're a legit PSYOP agent. Look at this homeless nigga, bro. Look at this disc. I am Disc, and I create destructive discs. I ripped it off from Dragon Ball Z's Krillin, but at least I have a beard and a bedsheet, mask, and a lumberjack hat, and jeans and sneakers. Zwing, zwing, zwing. Bull crap. And Feral, the hairy woman. What child? You have spoken about your comics are all ages, RJ. What young child gonna look at this and be like, Mommy, please buy me this? Mommy gonna pick it up and be like, I don't know, Billy. This looks kind of nasty. I think if we buy it, it's going to be firewood today. This is straight up firewood. This is firewood. How could you do this? How could you embarrass yourself? Did you really think nobody would come for you? Well, guess what? I am he who comes for all frauds. I am the one who exposes all the darkness and all the liars. Me. And I don't give one crack who mad about it. I'm sick of you liars. I'm sick of you demoralization agents. You agents of chaos. Agents of filth. Subverting reality. This is sickening. Feral, the hairy woman. This is awful, bro. The Valiant Heroes issue 1 floppy cover to be finished. What do you mean this is not finished? This is finished. It better be finished as well because it's sold and you brought us here with the links you provided so we can buy it, but you're telling us that it's to be finished. Bro, it is finished and it's garbage and it's toilet paper. So what we have here, internal pages to be finished. Look at this. It's blurry as a mother. The pixelation is omega. Oh my word, bro. This looks like not even a werewolf woman. It looks like some reindeer woman. What is this? Is she fighting a bear? What is going on? Did she get hit by the bear or did she kick the bear? We don't even know what's happening. We can't tell. We see speed lines, but we don't feel the impact. Man, get me my shotgun. No. I've had it. You see why I'm so mad? is because I held RJ to a massive standard. I held him up there. I held him up there. I honestly believed RJ is one of the real ones, but nah, you're just one of the biggest fake ones there is. Look at this. Okay, so whether it's punched by the bear or kicked by the wolf woman, somehow it's still the same pose, and then chuku chuku, and then she lands, and look at that landing pose, bro. It's so random. Look at the perspective of this. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Oh man, nah, bro, nah, man. This is worse than Sean James stuff, man. This is appalling, RJ. This is appalling. This is the first time I've read something that actually wants me to grab a gun and blow my brains out. Now, like, I'm serious. I've actually never read something that makes me want to kill myself, like, immediately. But I know why I feel this way. It's because I expected more from RJ. I really did. This, dude, I can't even make a sound effect of this because I don't know what's happening. Okay, and then she lands, and somehow then she's in the sky, and punches the werewolf or the bear. What is this? Okay, so we're reading left to right, right? So she lands, and then somehow she's in the sky, and then right hook, and then it looks like she throws the wolf backwards and punches it while it's flying backwards. Does that make any sense? Who did the storyboards for this? Who did this? Who did the choreography for this? This is ass. You see, the problem with so-called Christian creators, all of you think that nobody is going to speak against you. You think because I'm doing in the name of Jesus that Joel Osteen is going to say, I'm so proud of you and God loves you. No! God don't love no lazy suckers like this. You think Jesus is happy, RJ? Since you worship Mary too, you think Mary is happy with you drawing hairy women, fighting bears or crazy beavers or whatever? Is this the standard? You hold yourself to high standards, you say. This is a high standard? Is your God proud of you, RJ? Is he? Because if you think he is, then you are under strong delusion, bro. Severe strong delusion. This is atrocious. The choreography makes no sense whatsoever. You can't give somebody a right hook, throw them in the air, and then punch them while they're flying backwards, man. Give me my shotgun. And another thing, is she naked? Like her chest, huh? Are her boobs like fully exposed or something? Or her boobs hairy as well? What's going on? Well, why didn't you think about this? Oh, yeah, you just wanted to sell product. You didn't need to think about it, fraud. Oh, man. Oh, man, this just awful, bro. You see the problem with interior covers now? I mean, variant covers, they are very deceitful. They deceive people. This is awful in itself. Their technical execution and the rendering is perfect, but the subject matter is atrocious. Nonetheless, for somebody who'd be willing to give such garbage a chance, when you go to the interiors, surely you grab a gun and want your money back. What is this? There is no sense of there's no feeling of victory here, or this was a true struggling fight at all. All she did was punch it and throw it, and suddenly it's unconscious. Seriously? And then she runs off. And then the wolf is suddenly on its back now. Is it on its back or is it? I mean, well, here it looks like we see its back. So it fell stomach first, because here it looks like it fell back first. You see, I can't tell, but you see, this is what happens when you think your consumers are retarded. Now, a lot of people, I have said that people buy a lot of indie people stuff because they like you as a person and they want to support you. That's fine and all, but that's not the intention of every comic creator. That's not our intention. You need to be able to sell to the main market. Now, us in Onsulgo, we're already in stores, at least. Our magazine is in stores, in comic book stores, at least. So we are in the main market. But if you're just going to be online, unfortunately, you're going to have to just keep making videos like RJ, just yapping away, repeating himself, not telling us anything new, really, to sell trash like this. And for all of you RJ fans, honestly, there is no reason for you to be buying something like this. Have some self-respect. You can't buy something from someone who says Jim Lee is an example of what they believe is quality standard, and then they give us this. Get the hell out of here. And then we come to this page. I suppose it's a dream. We see a woman that looks like she's being fondled. Honestly, she looks like she's being fondled by the demon or whatever. And then over here, it looks like she's going, oh, instead of, ah, right? She's supposed to be screaming, right? She's supposed to be traumatized by seeing this monster in her head. But instead, it looks like James just unfortunately unleashed a gallon deep inside of her. That's what it looks like. It looks like she just got impregnated. Right? It's awful. It's completely awful. And then we come to this scene here with some very unappealing characters. The coloring is hideous. And then suddenly Mrs. Just got impregnated faints, and rip off of Mr. Fantastic wraps his arm around her. And that's it. I don't know how in the world can you rip off Mr. Fantastic, Batman, Jean Grey, Thor, and say this is a standard product? How can you do that? Who do you think you are? Did you really think I wouldn't find you? Do you really think you are immune to criticism? This trash does not belong in stores or in front of our eyes. I feel like I'm going blind looking at this. Then we get this one, the redemption of Kit Fox, as groups of madmen terrorize the local waterfront. Kit Fox investigates and finds a deepening mystery that will push him to his limit and force him to reevaluate his role as a hero. There is no way in hell that you named this Wolverine Batman Kit Fox. That is proof right there. You know what? I need a piece of gum. That right there has to be proof that RJ is working for the damn CIA. He's a PSYOP agent, a stupid Fed that is here to demoralize all of us, to make people accept trash as quality, to say all the right things, to convince people that it's okay to consume this garbage. This guy's a CIA agent. Truly. You have to be. An agent of Satan, hiding behind your Catholic Church trash. Typical, like most Republicans anyways. It's disgusting. Without a doubt, you are in the back pocket of the Zionist. Oh yeah, I'm going there. I know for a fact, at this rate, because I know what Zionists are trying to do. Right? You work for them, RJ. You work for them. Just like your daddy Trump. Right? Well, everybody in America really is working for them. The deep state is owned by the Zionists, so whatever. Anyone working for the feds works for the Zionists. And this is what they want. Demoralize people on every spectrum. Deploy agents who can articulate themselves very well, who can speak, who can convince, right? Who can hold their own. But let them produce garbage. And let those who are so infatuated with their personality support the garbage, thus subverting their minds, destroying their taste buds for quality. We have an agent right here, guys. I saw some people say, I'm a new subscriber because you're so funny. There's nothing funny about any of this. I don't do this so people can laugh. I don't do this to entertain anyone. This is real. And some of us actually care about this craft. But you have feds over here pretending to care just so they can demoralize people like me who truly care. And make money off of normies as ignorance. Kit Fox is the name of this Wolverine Batman who's got one claw coming out of his hand. Make it make sense. Look at this, a Red Hood ripoff. The mask looks exactly like Red Hood. So you rip off Batman, you rip off Red Hood, Jean Grey. This looks like Hit Girl from Kick-Ass. What's next? So this is a floppy cover to be finished. Nigga, please, it is finished. Kit Fox internal pages to be finished. This is a straight up traced face from Jason Fabok's Batman. If you look at, let's try to find an example. Try to find an example. Jason Fabok, Batman. Now, of course, he's drawn a lot of Batman faces, but it reminds me so much about this one little panel. I guess I wouldn't find it on Google Images, but honestly, man, can't I see a bigger version? No. You can do it yourself. But this looks exactly like a Jason Fabok ripoff. In terms of the face, nah. This is unacceptable. But aside from that, the giant ears are a dead giveaway for Batman, but it's been completely warped, pillaged, and subverted. And the claws, the one claws coming out like his Wolverine, make it make sense, people. Who would buy this? Why did you buy this, man? Why did you buy this? You're gonna come here and tell me I'm a hater, oh, I'm mean, I'm jealous. Jealous of what? I most likely have more book sales than he does, right? I'm not jealous of garbage. I'm not jealous of a federal agent coming here to demoralize people. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Look at this. You're gonna read this? Look at that. He just slashed the dude's face. Bunch of goons shooting in the background. And then, oh, he can shoot his claws. He shoots the claws and it goes through this guy's mouth. And then he's surrounded. And some guy whacks him over the head. And then he's on the ground looking pathetic. Guys, this don't make sense, man. Because if these dudes were shooting him from the back anyway already, isn't he bulletproof? Batman has a bulletproof suit. Even the back of his head is bulletproof. At least that's what I saw from the Batman v Superman movie. But it does make sense, and that it is possible to make it so. But the fact that you're being shot at from the back, there's no way you're telling me these people miss such a big target, right? That's brightly colored orange, right? There's no way to have no effect, but a crowbar to the head has enough effect. Give me a break. And then we get this page. Look at this. Look how stiff these characters look. Look how mannequin-like they look. They look like stickers placed in a panel. Look at this woman. That's what it feels like. What is this at the back? What is that? Is that the moon? Is that a light? What is that? So Batman Wolverine shoots his little rope thing and then flies off. And this woman's supposed to look stunned, but she looks like she's frozen in ice, really. And here's proof that the artist is cheap. Look at this, look at her here, and look at her here. It's exactly the exact same pose, and that's fine. He just changed the arm over here, but you can tell that it's cut and paste. A lot of things here are straight up cut and paste. That's why I say it feels like they are mannequins. They feel like stickers being placed in panels. Your artist ripped you off. And you know what? I don't blame him. You're a sucker, RJ. But seeing how you are fed, you did this on purpose. You did all of this on purpose. I mean, just look at how the dude comes into the window, man. Like, that is just so stiff and lame. Ah, my word. The rampaging Thor, trapped in the hell of war. An army medic finds an ancient prison and wittingly unleashes the pure destructive force known as Thor. You have got to be joking. Was there no other thunder god that you could have used aside from Thor? Really? Really? Like, are we being for real here? Mr. I have high standards for myself. Well, no, you don't, you liar. Okay, I shouldn't be mad because he is a federal agent. So, fine. It's to be expected. It's what they do. You're gonna burn in hell for this, RJ. And then we have internal pages to be inked and finished. Well, this is from last year's campaign. Why haven't you updated this whole thing to show us finished things? Why haven't you? Imagine how this guy's trying to sell us something and he shows us unfinished pages. Hey guys, I'm gonna sell you a burger, but pay now, it's just not finished. And when you receive it, it most likely be missing the patty and a couple of pickles. But you can still eat. No. Look at this. Detention. This is a manga thing. I remember reaching out to RJ before or around the time he made the announcement that he's hiring this manga studio to draw him a manga, and I know that studio, and they suck. But RJ, obviously working for the feds, he wants people who suck. He wants to empower DEI losers to dish out content. So it makes perfect sense. I shouldn't be mad. Detention. In the heart of Tokyo, one young woman learns why the mass crime fighter known as Cardinal has a reputation for being unrelenting. This is your synopsis? This is supposed to hook people? You see, I have to believe that RJ is a federal agent. I have to believe it because someone as smart as he is cannot be this stupid. I say he's smart because his understanding of history, philosophy is really good. Someone who has solid understanding of reality surely can't be this retarded in trying to create a story. It's why I have to believe that he's purposely subverting and destroying everything because he's a Fed. I have to believe it. Because if he is so intelligent with his philosophy degrees and whatnot, but is so monumentally stupid in creating a story, I don't even have a word for it. So I have to believe that he's a Fed. I have to. So these are internal pages. Looks boring, dry. This doesn't look like a manga. It doesn't feel like a manga. It looks like an American comic, a romance one, or soapy one, drawn for females. Right? Looks like webtoons actually. And then we have another example. What the hell is this? And then the perks. Perks include 82-page graphic novel with 3 main stories, 22 blah blah blah, 5 pinups, copies of Thomas Valiant. Oh, Thomas Valiant is another disaster. These are the pinups. Who the hell wants this? Here's Thomas Valiant, ripoff of Mr. Fantastic. This thing is a ripoff of X-Men and Fantastic Four. It's utter nonsense. You're disgusting, RJ. Let's quickly look at Chrome. I would play the trailer for you guys, but it's awful. It's okay. Let's spend 5 seconds on it. Deep in the forest, a twisted evil emerges. Unnoticed in the shadows. I'm bored to tears already, bro. I want to hang myself. No. Now, Chrome the Destroyer. Now, he hired a cool voice actor for the trailer, and everything sounds just fine. Just hear this part.
An age ago, the beating heart of our people was a king who knew only victory. He wanted nothing more than an honorable death.
See, I suppose something like this can hook you a little bit if you are into Conan the Barbarian. But then when we get to the actual pages and all, well, you want to hang yourself again. Look. This is trash. This is trash, man. Chrome the Destroyer. Like, honestly, if you want to be creating inspirational stories, what does Chrome, what can inspire, how can Chrome the Destroyer inspire anyone? You can say, well, you haven't read it. It's your fault that I'm not interested in reading it. Your synopsis sucks. The art sucks. The name sucks. And then you want to hide behind the fact that I haven't read it, so I can't really comment. It's your fault. It's your fault. It does suck. And that's why you don't want to actually put at least 10 pages for us to skim through for ourselves. That's why you don't want to do it, because you know it sucks. Look at this. Look at this, man. You see, the cover's nice. But here's an interior page. Look at the anatomy here. It's all kinds of jack. Look at the size of his chest over here. This is off, bro. He's got the rib cage of a flippin' horse. Look how ugly the character is. He's ugly, bro. He doesn't look cool. He's ugly. Look how ugly all these other characters are. Look how stiff and sticker-like this is. Blurry as F even. And this is supposed to be you trying to convince us to buy this? Giving us blurry images? Look at this. Few have held the fall at bay better than he, and few still have turned the tide so often. The only reason it sounds cool because I'm reading it, bro. But look at this. Every man must fall. I mean, that's not inspiring at all. But visually, it's just not pleasing. 2 pages is not enough for us to get hooked, bro. It's not. Look, this is a ripoff. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. People want to be like, Coffee Comics doesn't know what he's talking about, bro. I know what I'm talking about. Look at this. This is Jason Fabok's old Wonder Woman sketch. You can't tell me that this and this kind of looks oddly familiar, oddly similar. Let's see if I can get a bigger size of it. Here we are. Pretty strange, huh? Yeah. So, of course, he's a thief. You know, he did rip off Mr. Fantastic and Jean Grey and the Beast and every other superhero. Why not rip off this character, Wonder Woman, basically? Well, why not? With just minor iterations here and there. Why not, huh? You're scum, RJ. You're scum. Blurry ass image as well. Look at this. Who are you selling this to? It goes back to that question of, do you people know who your target market is? Or do you just want to yap along and hope somebody buys your garbage? That's what it looks like. At least I know who I'm selling to. If you like shonen with a sprinkle of seinen, that's who I'm selling to. I know my target market, but who exactly are you selling to? What is this? Are you selling to other 50-year-old men? Because no young person's buying this. This looks like The Legend of Hercules, illustrated in 1994. It looks so bad. It looks so horrendously bad. More pages. I don't know if all of it is in order. This is all bad. What the hell? Who did the coloring here? Who did the special effects? What? Who in the world, man? Somebody just make it all stop, man. Make it all stop. It's your fault, RJ. You didn't want to talk to me. And people can say, oh, then you're just vindictive. I'm not vindictive. I really respected RJ. I really did. But I had not so closely examined his stuff until today. And it was yesterday that really made me reach out to him again after 2 years as to like, hey man, can we really just talk in private about this networking thing? But you heard him for yourself. He's not interested. He says, yes, I'm interested, but I'm not really interested because I have certain standards for myself, and these are your standards. Ripping things off, ripping Wonder Woman off, ripping off Conan the Barbarian, ripping off Mr. Fantastic, and having some random, icky, ugly artwork like this with ugly characters, with a homeless dude with a beard who's a superhero, and a flippin' hairy woman, and a disgusting cover that makes no sense. Give me a break. You will. You will be held accountable by me. You want to say, well, Coffee, you don't draw American comics. I sure as heck am a consumer of American comics, right? I've read a lot of Jason Fabok stuff. I even have Jim Lee's art book on my desk. You can't tell me nothing. I am a consumer of quality products, right? Quality comics. You want to come here and say, well, I'm making standard comics and whatnot. I'm being original. This is not being original. Let's even search Conan, the Barbarian comic. It looks exactly like this chrome trash, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Of course, with this one, it has better artwork. Unoriginal, garbage art, stolen art, the king of yappers, RJ of the fourth age. You make me sick. You and Sean James and every other lying, degenerate, sloppy hypocrite. You make me sick. You make me sick. You will get what you deserve. But you kind of got it already. You have nothing. You don't even have good character because you're disingenuous, opportunist federal agents. You're just pieces of filth. That's all you are. You thought you could go around this place, this earth, and nobody would hold the mirror up to you? I'm gonna hold that mirror. People wanna examine my stuff? Go ahead. If you don't like the first 3 chapters, okay, you don't like my product. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Right? It's not a big deal. Oh, your art's not amazing. I never said it was. But if you are an actual producer of art, you know how to judge art. That's what I do. Right? No one can tell me I'm still in the exact same level that I was 6 months ago. I'm not. It's a fact. It's an objective fact. Everybody who's critical of me, well, you better make sure that you can back it up yourself. You better make sure that you're at least way better than me, and you better make sure you have more product than me. Because in this space, delivery is important. Quality is one thing. Yeah, it's important. But delivery on time, I'd say that's really important. I'd say it's a yin and yang. Quality and delivery. You can have something of quality, but if it's not delivered, then what's the point? You can deliver, but the quality looks like this, then what's the point? People need to meet the bar. And clearly a lot of people forgot what the bar is. You want to run around and draw your little comics to impress your grandmother so she can bake you cookies this Sunday? That's fine. But don't come here and take yourself so seriously with your little hobbyist way of producing comics, because I will hold you accountable. I will find you and I will roast you. RJ of the fourth age, you are a despicable, disgusting person. Go ahead and make a video about me. I don't care. You'd be what? The 10th person to do so? Be mad, right? Be mad, don't be mad. I don't really care, but it's all your fault because all of this was supposed to be addressed privately, but you wanted to be a female about it. You wanted to be sissy about it, right? You wanted to be effeminate about all of this. Okay, I'll show you how a man does it then. Man exposes trash. He exposes it, right? A man knocks at your door first. I knocked at your door. You looked out the window and you didn't want to talk to me. So, oh, what's that nigger doing over there? Was that it, RJ? Was that it? Oh, I don't want to go there, but could it be? Should I play victim? Y'all better be careful, because if I play victim, you're gonna feel very stupid. Don't trigger me to play victim, because I'll make you feel really bad about yourself and about your existence. At the end of the day, if you're an honest producer, then just do it yourself. Don't hire people who don't like your story, man. Because we can tell it's so disconnected. But again, RJ is a flipping agent, so... But let's say he's not. Don't hire artists that don't like your story. Because there's no sense of attachment. The characters feel dead. They don't feel alive. That's why you get trash like this. And in fact, the fact that your artist was so... He hates you so much, he didn't tell you that, RJ, drawing a hairy woman like this is kind of bad for business, bad for optics. They don't like you, RJ. I mean, if you are not an agent, right, and you are just a normal guy, you have fake people around you. They don't care about you. You could smell like a dead horse and wonder why people don't like you. And then the closest people to you say, nah, bro, you smell just fine, but they have nose plugs on. That's exactly what's happening here. You have a bunch of people congregate amongst friends and sissies that will always be toxically positive. I never check them on anything. Freaks of nature. Can't believe I wasted my life watching you trash. I'm gonna make sure I never do it again. Garbage.